Unfortunately, these are not the same old Cincinnati Bengals. What's going on, everybody? I am Zachary Smith. Welcome back to another video on the channel. First things first, if you are new, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. Leave me a like on this video. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single piece of content that I'm putting out over here. And leave me a comment below as we work through this, whether you are a Cincinnati Bengals fan, a fan of the NFL draft in general. Have at it in the comments. Let's have some conversation about how we work through this 4-round Cincinnati Bengals mock draft as we are doing with every team in the NFL. I promise my bias will not play into this. I do not like the Cincinnati Bengals. I do not like them because at the moment they're very good and have a very bright future, and I am jealous of what they have going on there. Don't get me wrong. I have full belief in Kenny Pickett and Mike Tomlin and the way that the Pittsburgh Steelers are handling this post Ben Roethlisberger era very early on. However, I don't see the Cincinnati Bengals downfall coming anytime soon, unfortunately. Enough about the state of them right now. Let's help build them, unfortunately, into a better football team for 2023 and beyond. I'm really hoping that Michael Mayer isn't even on the board because that's just been so redundant. Also, he's awesome. I mean, if it's him or Dalton Kincaid, I don't think that you can go wrong for Cincinnati. I think both of them are certainly needs. They could use some corner help, probably a safety with the way that, free agency shook out for them. Tight end, offensive line, secondary. I get on board with any of those. Also, no trade backs. Yeah, I mean, Michael Mayer's there. I don't think, Dalton Kincaid went. What are these trades, by the way? Joey Porter for 30 in a second. The Bills moved up for Witherspoon. Green Bay gets 27, which turned into Josh Downs, 59 and 91. Don't mind that for either side, to be honest. Miles Murphy, Steelers moving back to 29, getting 40. I do that in real life, please. Would love that. Okay, so we are on the board here. Michael Mayer, again, kind of a chalk pick, could make a ton of sense. Cam Smith, Anton Harrison certainly makes sense for them. They sneakily could take running back very early. Bijan didn't fall to them. The Giants keep taking him in these mock drafts. I don't know why, but if he were here, I would have considered him. I think that's kind of it. I think it's a very short list here for them, what they would do. I don't think either the top two guys up top would be. They have Van Ness listed as an edge. I get it. I think he's a better pass rusher from the inside, though. I think he might play edge early downs and be like a run stopping edge and then move inside on third down to pass rush. That's how I would probably utilize him. I mean, it's getting so boring, but I don't know the other direction that I would go. Anton Harrison certainly does make sense. They got a tackle in Orlando Brown Jr. They brought him in. They paid him. You still don't know what's going to happen with Jonah Williams. Man, this is tough. I want to see something real quick. And the other thing with them with the offensive line is when La'el Collins comes back, what do you do? Not that he was good really last year, but he paid him too. I'm going to go Michael Mayer. I'm doing it. It's boring. We actually just recently did in the first round with the Cowboys too. So it's like he just makes too many sense for too many teams. And I've taken him in too many mocks. That's the way the board falls, though. We gonna be able to. Okay. I'm gonna take Jahmyr Gibbs at 60. I think Joe Mixon's time is really winding down in Cincinnati. Like I said, I think sneakily, if Bijan was there in round one, they could do it. They might take Jahmyr Gibbs in round one. Rap sheets saying there's 2 running backs going in round 1. He firmly believes that. That's the consensus around the league, is that both those guys are going to go in round 1. Who's that second team gonna be that takes one? Because we don't know the exact landing spot, obviously, for Bijan, but he's going round 1. I don't think many people are disputing that. Dang, Jartavius Martin would have been nice here, I think. Although maybe a little redundant with Mike Hilton. Would they sneakily be looking for another pass catcher? Because you can't. Is Tyler Boyd going to be able to earn another contract there? They got to pay Higgins and Chase coming up. I think you got to start thinking about life past him. And with the wide receivers that are still on the board here, Jaden Reed, Jonathan Mingo, those guys are awesome. Tank Dell, I know a lot of people like. I'm not like super high on him. I'd rather have Reed or Mingo personally. Bergeron or Steen could make sense as, a developmental piece along that offensive line. Some debate, like Steen could be an awesome guard. If he were viewed as a guard immediately, he's probably a bit higher ranked up here, just as in terms of a natural guard. And then Bergeron, really good in the phone booth. I think there's still some questions about him in pass sets. Christopher Smith's awesome. I don't care about the testing with him. He's going to be like an outlier player for me, I guess. Like somebody that just like throw it away. You can't get me off that train. So Christopher Smith, Bergeron, or slot maybe. I'm not leaning that direction though. They lost 2 We're going to go Christopher Smith for them. I like that a lot. I actually thought there was a chance Sid Brown would fall there. I would think about him in that spot. Jaden Reed goes there. Did the Colts take 2 quarterbacks? First 4 rounds? It's like Washington in 2012. Yes. Well, folks, I can't take Mingo for the Bengals because my Pittsburgh Steelers took him. I'm very upset about it. I mean, they don't need it immediately, but like Luke Whippler's so good. That's great value in the spot. I don't know. We checked a lot of boxes already. We got tight end, running back, and safety for Cincinnati. We didn't go. Okay, so we didn't get an offensive lineman yet. Is there another like depth? There's nothing that really there at tackle. Do they consider that one of the needs on here anyway? They do. Yeah, corner, edge, tackle, and guard, and tight end. And they don't have running back, which is interesting. I mean, if they consider KJ Henry and Isaiah McGuire, I'd like either one in this spot. We're going to do Isaiah McGuire. Tested really well, especially among edge defenders. His RAS score was fantastic. I think that might shoot him up the boards a little bit. I'd almost be a little bit surprised if he were available in this spot. But Michael Mayer, Jahmyr Gibbs, Christopher Smith the second, and Isaiah McGuire, the 4-round haul for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think you come away feeling like you checked a lot of boxes off. The offensive line, obviously, we didn't address here in this one. But I think that they've, kind of addressed it in free agency. I think Orlando Brown Jr. is a big addition for them. I think at the same time, it's kind of, I do think he's a bit overrated, to be quite honest with you. I think he should be playing right tackle, but he wants to play left tackle because of the price tag. So I'll be interested to see how they deploy that. I think he's going to be left tackle for them, but I still think he's a solid left tackle. I just think he's a Pro Bowl right tackle. So we'll see how it shakes out, but I feel pretty good about this for the Cincinnati Bengals, which means I personally feel pretty bad about it. But let me know how you feel about it in the comments, whether you are a Bengals fan, and if you are, I'm probably gonna get a ton of hate for the comments I've made going through this. But again, I I I respect the football team that you guys have built there in Cincinnati. So let me know how you're feeling in the comments. If you aren't a fan of the Bengals as well, let me know how you feel about each selection, what you would have done differently. But until then, we'll be back. Is it the Saints on the clock? I want to say there was trades, but it was the Saints, right? Yeah, Saints. We already did the Eagles. So Saints and Chiefs to wrap up round one. And then there's obviously some teams that didn't have a pick in round one that we'll have to do as well. But we'll be back with those. Until next time, we'll see you.